The 52-year-old has described himself as the new face with fresh new ideas, and I've been talking to him.
I think we need to put some effort into trying to find the space to make some kind of change. Otherwise, in effect, what the EU is doing is choosing no deal. We're not choosing no deal. We're choosing a deal. We're choosing a deal that will respect our democracy, get the decision over the line, and can pass the House of Commons. It's for the EU to decide whether they would see that as acceptable or not. And what you would hope, wouldn't you,
was that we've been around that house.
Hold on. What you would hope, wouldn't you, that you know, the UK, as one of the great Western democracies, can talk to the other democratic allies that we have in Europe to say, come on, we need to make some progress on this. You need to respect our democracy. We want to respect your situation. We've all accepted the principle of alternative arrangements. Let's see if we can get it over the line.
3 years.
Yeah, but the dynamic, as I say, has now changed. I think both...
I mean, we've had these results, but it's been abundantly clear to anybody that's paid attention to this debate here and in Europe that we've been going around exactly the same issues. Nothing's changing.
Well, I think what has changed is hopefully a perception that the current backstop will not pass. Now, you could see why...
So it's no deal then on the 31st of October?
Well, unless the EU chooses a better deal.
And they're not,
but they may choose no deal, and it's certainly the case.
And they've got the planning in place. They said on the 29th of March, it seems that they're better prepared than us, because on the 29th of March, their full programme was declared complete. So it sounds like they've got less to fear from no deal potentially than we do.
Well, I agree with you, and it's certainly the case that they may choose no deal, and we have to be ready. And so I think one of the things we need to do, as well as trying to get some movement on the withdrawal agreement, or a new withdrawal agreement, I think we need to have an honest conversation about no deal. I think we need to be very transparent about the preparations that we've put in place, which are extensive. I've been doing them as a minister in my department, and I don't know why we've been so shy about them. We need to make sure that small business in particular is ready, but we have to have an honest conversation about those industries which are going to be affected, because those people who say no deal would be a catastrophe and those people who say it'd be a walk in the park are both wrong. It's somewhere in the middle, and we need to make sure there are support packages in place in case the EU do elect for no deal.
It's a lot of conversations that you're talking about having, and we've got finite time. Are you absolutely, would you say to anybody that's supporting you, come what may, we will leave on the 31st of October? I would not seek another extension, because obviously we did hear from Theresa May that the 29th of March was definitely going to be the date we would leave, but that changed. So that has undermined people's faith considerably, amongst other things, in politicians, that actually what is said will be done.
I mean, I have not voted for an extension at any point in this process, and my view is that we need to get ourselves in as good a shape as we possibly can by the 31st of October, either by landing a deal, which is what the vast majority of MPs want in the House, or that we're in a coherent shape on no deal, such that if the EU elect to go for no deal, that we're able to go over the line as smoothly as we possibly can, notwithstanding the fact that it is going to be bumpy. But for any Prime Minister to make guarantees about what is going to happen at the end of the period ignores the fact that the maths in Parliament are very difficult. This is the problem that Theresa May found herself in place.
Exactly. I was just about to say, we're exactly where Theresa May was. And whichever of you 10 candidates wins out, it will be exactly the same story. Why should anybody... What would the winning candidate... What does the winning candidate have to do differently? Because what we've, I suppose, learned from these European elections is there has to be decisive, a clear position.
I think, well, the European elections indicated, I think, that the country is still hopelessly divided on this issue. What the winning candidate has to do is credibly say that I can bring a majority together, certainly a majority of the Conservative Party together, to hammer out a deal that we know will pass the House of Commons, and then use the power of politics and our conversations with heads of state in Europe to make sure that we can try and get some movement. And if not, then we have to honestly and carefully to prepare for no deal, because it might be that we get to a situation where the EU, by rejecting a perfectly sensible, reasonable deal, is effectively choosing no deal on our behalf.
You have said that you're a new face, you've got fresh new ideas, you're representing or from a new talented generation. What is it about you that's so fresh and new?
Well, I'm obviously fairly new to Parliament. I mean, one of the criticisms that's been levelled at me today is that nobody knows who I am. And certainly, despite the fact that I've had 20 years of granular experience, up front with people as a councillor and at City Hall, where I was fighting crime for 4 years, for example, I'm relatively new to Parliament. I only got elected in 2015. But critically, I haven't been, I guess, part of the kind of leading cast of characters who've been struggling with this issue and not necessarily making any progress. I am, though, the only person who earlier this year decided to get off my backside and try and do something about it, and in a new way and try a new approach, and that's what I'm trying to...
Lots of MPs have been stepping up, haven't they, and taking control of what's been happening in Parliament in different ways. But obviously you came up with your proposal. Just before we run out of time completely, how many MPs are supporting you? Because as I say, it's a wide field. There are 10 of you. It will get to the point where so many people declaring, it seems, for different candidates. The numbers aren't adding up. But right now, how many have you got?
So we've put out 2 names today as a sort of start-off, and there'll be more names coming in the days and weeks to come. But you'll forgive me if I don't reveal the total number yet, because part of the plan is that we reveal names as they come. But I've had a number of people come and say that I should have a go.
I mean, by doing that, obviously it's going to make people think, well, you've only got 2 to name.
Yeah, there will be more. Give it time.
There will be more because you're hopeful you'll get more, or you've definitely got names on the list already?
Part of the reason that I'm standing is that I think we all have a duty to present a choice to the members of the party and, frankly, to the country about who they want to be Prime Minister. My view is that someone from my generation of parliamentarians needs to step forward. I think I'm doing so on the basis of being able to deliver unity and a plan, and that's the choice I'm giving to colleagues.
That's Kit Malthouse talking to me earlier, the latest of the candidates to say he's standing as leader. It makes 10 standing so far. There's speculation that James Cleverly may also join in. That would make it 11, but we're not there yet. We're still at 10.